So we're definitely going to geek out, as I said to you before, about Japan and Tokyo, because I'm real keen to talk about that. But what I wanted to start with is a little bit about the history. And you're probably the first content creator who I watched the early stuff, as I said to you before, but haven't watched the most recent stuff until recently. So, and I think I watched a lot of that. A lot of it was more comedic, I suppose, back in those days than it is more lifestyle now.
Yeah.
So two things. One, how did it all start getting onto TikTok? And then two, tell me about the switch of content styles.
So I was living with my best friend at the time, just over the summer, and she was on TikTok doing skits and stuff, and like she blew up, but then she did shit. She was like, "Nah, I'm done with TikTok. It's just not for me anymore." And then I just thought her stuff was really funny. She'd just like do stuff like being an Asian, like growing up Asian, what my POV, my Asian mom and stuff like that. And I thought it was pretty funny. And I just thought, okay, what could I do that's kind of relevant to me? Growing up on the North Shore, kind of taking the mickey out of that, and just like all, guys I dated in the past and stuff, like way back in the past, like have been in a healthy long-term relationship. Not talking about Max being toxic. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's great proposed.
When is he proposing?
Yeah, he's great, but proposed. Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of talk about that, and then be like, POV, he takes you on a date, and like he takes you to like Vic Park and stuff like that, and like people kind of just thought I was being serious, and I was
Sounds like someone we know.
Oh, are you from the shore as well?
No, that's just what he does for dates.
Oh,
he just takes people to Vic Park for dates.
As you should.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I got started into it, because we were living together and it was kind of fun. We'd bounce ideas off of each other.
Yeah.
And then I kind of realized that working in that, doing skits and stuff wasn't actually going to be monetizable. It's not going to, brands don't like it.
Yeah.
I had very few brand deals, which was great, in 2021. But I wasn't able to really monetize my content. And I was just like, how can I take it to the next level? Because I know I've got followers here. I know that I've got a community. And also I felt burnt out from making that kind of content.
Yeah. And so that made the switch into lifestyle.
Yes.
And was that just like natural because like that was who you were, or did you like deliberately go, what are the options, which way do I want to go down, or was it just a natural thing?
I think it was more of a natural approach because it was sort of like, okay, well, skits are now starting to die out. What can I do that's more sustainable and just more long term, I guess? Yeah.
And in terms of lifestyle, like how do you categorize that for yourself? Like where do you sit in that lifestyle category? Because like it's quite broad on TikTok, but like how do you categorize yourself in lifestyle?
I think I categorize myself more into like, the day in the life vlogs, day in my life as a buyer, my corporate job, what I spend in a day is, very general stuff. And like also I talked a lot about buying a home last year and then also just travel content and stuff as well.
And then from like a brand deal perspective, I mean, you've obviously got your brand deals on your page. So it's not like we're jumping into things that people don't already know, but like what sort of brand deals how did the brand deal sort of conversation change as that happened? Like from the comedic stuff to that, like was it quite deliberate going to the brands through the agency, or did it just organically happen that more brands were like, oh, I like this content? More
brands organically started to like the content more, and I think a lot of them just weren't sure how they would be able to work with me in terms of like what my current niche was as a more comedic skit creator versus doing like, oh, this is a day in my life vlog, and then add in the product placement, so it just made more sense organically.
It's quite interesting. It's the second time I've heard that, well, in 2 weeks. Like Emma was the last one, right, last week, who curated her whole feed for brand deals, like completely changed, like in terms of like cooking, she does a lot of cooking and buying and budgeting tips for meals. But similar to you, like she did it deliberately as like, I need a change because I want brand deals, and brand deals aren't going to come for anything else, even though she might want to do, like she has like a side gig, which is like her Korean K-pop dance group thing that she does. Whereas like that's not really as monetizable. Well, not in New Zealand for that space anyway, where she's at. So that's interesting that you actually, what made you, like was it just something that you did that you knew? Like, was there a catalyst to make you make that change? Like, how did you know to do that?
I think because like I just saw like people coming up doing day in the life vlogs and stuff, and I was like, I could do that. I could do that. My life's a bit more boring. Like I don't, work from home. Well, at the time I didn't work from home. I worked from the office all the time and stuff. And I was like, how do I do this? So I started transitioning into doing like weekend vlogs, do 2 weekend vlogs a week, and then I do like fashion content sort of and stuff like that, and cooking content too. Yeah.
But how did you know that was going to get better brand deals? Did you, or did it just happen?
No, I think I knew it was going to happen because of I think just because a lot of people would say, and like my friends who had mutuals who followed me were like, oh, is Alluka really like that? Is she like really an awful person? I'm like, it obviously says POV, mean girl at whatever situation, like, but people thought I was actually serious, and I was like, I don't want people to think that, like, I don't want people to think I'm an awful person, because I'm not. At least I don't think so. So I was just like, fuck, this is not for me. And I just kind of thought, like, it's just not on brand for me. I want to be more like just myself and just more carefree.
Interesting. So tell me then, so you made that transition, things started to go quite well. Where do you see that content journey going into the future? Like, I mean, we spoke off camera before that you're quite career driven and that's a thing for you. But what's the creator world? What do you hope to do with that into the future?
Actually, I recently went to Japan, as we talked about that, and travel's a big part of my life, and pre-pandemic and everything, I traveled a lot with my friends and family and my partner as well. And I'd love to, do more travel and stuff. And kind of at the moment, a little cheeky plug, I am actually working on an ebook.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm actually doing a 3-week Japan itinerary. So there's a free version, and I'm actually writing the premium right now, which is like a complete guide for beginners for 3 weeks in Japan, hotel reviews, food recommendations, everything we did. Has your audience asked for it? Yes. Is that where it came from? Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, it was really cool because they had kept asking me, like, when are you dropping a 3-week itinerary? When are you going to do it? And I was like, guys, I need some time. I need some breathing space. And then I was like, actually, why don't I just write it all? Like, instead of doing multiple videos, it just felt like it didn't make any sense to do multiple videos. People will keep asking me about it. And I'm like, I can't keep saying, go to this playlist. So I was like, well, I might as well just write a book about it. Well, a digital ebook. So,
It is funny that though, like in that course or book creation space, but like even though people could go watch all your videos, they just want it curated and put in a place for it, right? It's like we work with a company called VidSing. Have you heard of VidSing before? They do like build your own Netflix essentially.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a pay subscription model, self-service thing. And we're helping them bring on a bunch of creators as well for this purpose, where they literally like they take a whole bunch of your content and then they just monetize it, but in a group, like in a group package. So people can go and pay like, I don't know, it's crazy that people do this, but they'll pay like $100 to take a collection of your videos that tells them about a topic.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because like it stops them having to scroll through and find everything, and they can learn it.
Yeah.
And so like some of the creators aren't even making new content.
Wow.
They're just like packaging up content they already have and selling it as a bundle. And it's the whole thing of like time's money, right? Like people just want to be able to get what they need and know that this is exactly all they need to do the thing. So that's interesting. Oh, cool. So tell me about the ebook. Like when can people expect it? Let's plug the shit out of it. Like
let's plug this
get,
right
like,
now.
All 7 people watching. Like,
all 7 people.
All 7 people. What is it? When is it coming?
It should be coming this weekend.
Oh, that soon.
Yeah, that soon. So sweet. I have been actually working on it for 3 weeks now. It's cool. That's me.
And they can get it from your link?
They can get it from my link tree.
Nice.
It is not there yet.
No.
But it will be there soon.
Yeah.
So yes,
And that's essentially a 3-week holiday itinerary guide.
Yeah. There's a free one and a premium. So if you feel like you need more,
cool,
there's a premium version for you.
Tell me, where does this guide take them? Is it Tokyo? Is it all of Japan? Like, what is it? How big?
So just be kind of like where I guess most beginners would want to go. So Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima, and then back, finishing your trip off in Tokyo.
Okay, cool. So actually 3 weeks around the country. Yeah, that's cool. What's one of the cool tips in it that people, without giving too much away that you want people to pay for, what's something cool that like you're putting in there that most people don't realize when they go to Japan?
I think, it would be, a lot of it will just be kind of more in the general tips. So kind of like just general customs and stuff, and also just etiquette in Japan. And then also just more about the JR pass. That's something I get a huge, people always ask about that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the thing that that bugged me out the most when I went there, and like, but it was fine, it was just like I didn't get it at first, was when I rocked up to the gym. Because I'd rock up in a singlet. And they were like, you can't come in there.
No.
Like,
did you have tattoos at the time?
Oh, I had this half sleeve. And they're like, you can't be in here. And I'm like, why? They're like, your tattoos. And so I had to go buy, because I can't even wear t-shirts.
No.
So I had to go buy a long sleeve. I had to work out in long sleeve. And when I was in Japan, it was, I went there in June.
Oh.
And I left in September.
No. Worst times. June.
So hot.
September.
So
Humidity.
hot.
Yeah.
It was so hot. And I went there. So that was a real interesting thing. And I thought, like, I had to tell heaps of people that. I was like, because most people I know had tattoos.
Yeah.
And I had to be like, and like, I get the culture, I get why not, and all that sort of stuff. But I was just something I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
Going, because it's not one of those things that you rock up to. So, and I think, and I find that in a lot of countries when I've traveled, like, there's always little tiny things, right? That like just customs are different.
Yeah.
What's your biggest tip for people trying to find good places to eat if they don't, they just want to randomly roll up somewhere?
Oh, see, I don't usually like to pre-plan places because I just feel like you're better off to like go. So like one of my favorite places in Japan is called Ron Okonomiyaki. And I didn't even know about this place. I didn't know it existed. I just knew Okonomimura existed in Hiroshima. And it's like a place that's just a whole building full of people who do okonomiyaki. So we went there and we were just looking, there's like, they're telling you like, oh, come to us because we're this. And they're like family owned business. So I was like, okay, let's go there. Yeah. 3rd floor. And then we just had the most amazing time. And then I plugged them on TikTok. And to this day, I still get people telling me like, whoa, we like went there and like awesome. They remember you and stuff. So they had really good Google reviews. Someone mentioned that they watched my TikTok. So my best suggestion is honestly just to kind of walk around. I try avoid the chain restaurants. If you have to, like just go. Some of the chains are great, but don't go to Ichiran. That place sucks. I hate that place.
What is it?
It's a really popular ramen place and everyone, like every tourist eats it up. They're like, this place is amazing and it's not.
Oh, the only ramen places I went to are like the local route near where we lived. Like, I don't know why you'd go anywhere else.
Why would you go to... I did go there to take Max and I was like, this place is going to be average, by the way. Yeah. And it's just really thick broth and it's good. But like, man, when you're paying 13 NZD, it's like you could go somewhere else for
13 NZD.
That's pretty expensive.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's like how
for
much...
ramen in Japan?
Yeah, for ramen in Japan. They've like increased
it's like
their
$3.
prices. Yeah, they increased their prices because of the tourists.
Really?
Yeah.
My like local, like, so you had 2 locals. You have the one where like you go in and order and that you'd be okay to pay like $7 or $8. But then the other ones are all the vending machine ones. It's like $2-3.
Those ones are really good.
Yeah, those are the best ones. Those are the ones because when we first got to Japan, we, I think we're there for 4 months, and for the first 2 months or 2.5 months, we were like on a budget, trying to make it last, get careers there set up for a bit. And then about a month and a half before we left, we got offered these roles. Well, we got pulled back to Sydney for work. Right. And we got offered these, we signed roles that were really good. So we had like 6 to 8 weeks left. And we had a whole bunch of money left and we're just like, fuck, let's like ball out. But in that first like 10 weeks, we were like super strict with where we ate. Yeah. And like, so all the like vending machine ramens were the best one. But also, I can't remember the place now. There's like a supermarket. It's yellow. It's got a picture of a cow on the logo, and it's like it's everywhere. The supermarket, but they sell like it's mostly like, well, actually, it sells everything. But we used to go in for the meat.
Oh, okay.
That they sold. Yeah. Because they did all like I can't remember how you call it in Japan now. The like thinly sliced meat.
Oh yeah, for like shabu shabu and stuff.
Shabu, yeah. And so we'd buy all that. Because it's like the cheapest way to eat was like to buy that in a massive bag of rice. Yeah. And then cook at home. Anyway, like I told you, we're gonna geek out on fucking Japan if I go too long.